One, for this lesson, you're going to make a Pong game in Scratch. So first you need to go to the St. Anne's website and go to the link to log into Scratch. Click on sign in. It's the year of graduation from St. Anne's. First letter of your first name and your last name. Your password is SAES1234. And then go to click on create. So the first thing we're going to need to do is choose a backdrop that you would like to use. So there are two suggestions that I have. First, let's go to down here where it says new backdrop. Click on the first one and you could choose the brick wall, which is a very popular one. Or if you scroll down, there's kind of a cool one down here called Neon Tunnel. So since we're doing a Pong games, you want to get something that's appropriate for the game. You can choose whichever background you'd like though. So I'll choose the tunnel, click OK. The next thing we're going to do is choose a ball. So you need to add a new sprite. So to add a new sprite, you click on the little guy down here. And I'm just going to choose this ball. You could choose a different ball if you'd like, but you need to choose a ball. Then click OK. And let's delete this old sprite, this cat, by clicking on the little scissors and then click on the cat. Okay, the next thing you can do is if you want to actually not if you want to, let's make the ball move. So the next thing you're going to do is click on make sure your ball is selected, move it over, move 10 steps, and then whenever you click on it, you can see that your ball is moving 10 steps. Okay, next we're going to make it move and bounce. So to do that, you need to choose the one if on edge bounce. Drag that one over. Then if you click on it, it's not doing anything yet. Let's add some more things to it. So let's go to Control and choose a forever block. So click on forever and drag that around. And then if we click on the forever block, now it continues to move, and if it hits the wall or the side, it bounces. Okay, our next step is we want it to point. So since it's going back and forth, we'd like for it to go down or go in a different direction. So let's go to our motion block and choose point in direction. So drag that one up to the top of it. And then let's change 90 to 45 degrees. Now if we click on that one, it starts moving in all different directions, which is what we want. Now we want a command key at the top so that when we click on the flag or the green flag, it makes it start doing this. So let's go to events and then choose the one with the green flag. So let's stop it, and then you press the green flag and it should start back up. You can just press stop to stop it. And if you want the to change the speed of the ball, you could change this to move 15 instead of 10. The higher the number, the faster it moves. So now mine moves a little bit faster. You don't have to, but you can. Now we're going to choose the paddle so that when I move my mouse, it hits something. Let's stop it. Okay, and we need to add a sprite for this. So click on New Sprite. And then if you scroll down, you'll see the paddle right here after the orange. So choose the paddle, click OK, and then now we need to program the paddle. So to program the paddle, Actually, you might want to make your paddle a little smaller. You don't have to, but you might because it's pretty big there. But to make it smaller, you can make it shrink or grow. Here's shrink, and then you just click on it, and then makes it a little bit smaller. That might make it a little more challenging for you. And then the next thing we can do is program it. So to program the paddle, make sure you have the paddle selected, not the ball. Because when I click on the ball, you can see that script. But I want to make sure the paddle is selected. I'm going to choose events when the flag is clicked. And then I need a forever button. So go to the controls and find the forever button. And I want it to, I want it to be controlled by my mouse pointer. When I move my mouse, it moves that green paddle. So to do that, you go to the looks and choose go to actually, I don't think that's in looks, it's in motion. It's in motion. Go to mouse pointer. So put that in there. And now, whenever this green flag is clicked, my mouse pointer becomes my paddle. I can move it around with my mouse. Right now it's not programmed for my ball to hit it yet, so we need to do that next. So let's stop that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to program the ball again. So go to the ball and click on it. We already have one set of script up here, so what we're going to do is we are going to add another one underneath it. So to program it so that when it hits the paddle, it bounces off of the paddle. So let's go to the events again, choose the green flag again, and then we need another forever block. So go to control, drag the forever over, and we need an if and then block. So here's if and then. Put that inside your forever block. And then in this little box right here, we want it to say if it's touching the paddle, then. So to do that, you need to go to sensing. So if it's touching the paddle, now it says mouse pointer, but we're going to change that. So click there and change that to paddle. Touching the paddle, then you want it to turn 180 degrees. So let's go to looks. Actually not looks, but motion. And here's the correct one, turn. Drag that in there and change that 15 degrees to 180. And then we want it to wait 1 second. So go back to control and choose wait 1 second and drag that underneath. Okay, now let's test that out and see if it works. So if I click on my green flag, I should be able to, oh there, I should be able to catch my ball. I have my ball really going fast, so you might want to go back and change the speed of the ball. And to do that, you can just go back up here to the top and change move 15 steps to move 10 steps or 5 if you wanted to go slower. Next, we're going to add a sound so that when the ball hits the green paddle, it actually makes a sound. I'm going to make that. That is really fast. Now it's a little slower. See how it slowed down? Made it easier. Okay. So let's make it make a sound, and the next thing we need to do is go up to sounds. There are 3 tabs here, scripts, costumes, and sounds. Click on sounds. Then you want to go to the little choose sound from library icon there, click on it, and this is where you can choose the sound that you would like. I'm going to choose the water drop sound. You can choose a different sound if you'd like. And then click OK. And now that I've chosen a sound and added it there, the next thing I can do is go to the ball, click back on the ball, and then go to scripts. And where it says touching paddle, then we're going to add a play sound button right there. So to add a play sound button, you need to go to sound, and let's drag that down underneath touching water, right, the very first one, play sound, and this is where you can change it. I'm going to choose water drop because that's what I added. And now let's see if that works. Press the green flag and see how it's making a sound every time I hit it. Okay, stop. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a line at the bottom so that when it touches the red line, the game stops. So to do that, you need to click on your backdrop over here in the stage area. So click on the backdrop, and when you do, if you double click, oh actually no, instead of clicking there, click over here where it says backdrops and make sure you have that one selected. Then you can make your line thicker and choose the color you'd like. I'm going to choose red, and then draw my line across the bottom. I'm going to choose the straight line tool to do that with. There we go. And if I choose shift, shift will allow my line to be straight. Actually, let's just do this. I'll just go again. There. I want the whole thing to be red at the bottom, if possible. If not, that's okay. So now I will go back, and I need to add a script to the ball again. So let's go to the ball, and when you click on the ball, this may come up, so go back to scripts, and then we just need to add another script down here for the ball. So let's go ahead and go to events. When the flag is clicked, and then we need a forever button. We need an if then button. Here's if then inside my forever button. So if the ball touches a certain color, then something happens. So let's go to the sensing. So if it's touching the color, let's drag that into that box there. And we want it to touch the color red. So this is a little tricky. Let's see if I click on red. Oh, there we go. It happened up there. So what you might have to do, let's get it out of there, is get this to turn red first and then drag it on top. And that one got kicked out. There. So maybe change this to red first. If you click on it and then press the red, or click on the question mark and press red. Kind of tricky. There, I finally got it. So it may take you a second to get that to work. And then we're going to drag one more block over, and we want it to stop everything. So to stop all, let's go to control. If you go to control, then you can see stop all. So drag that. If it touches the red, then you want it to stop all. Okay, now if we click on the flag and we let it hit the red, it should just stop. And then to start it back again, you click on the green flag again. Okay, the next thing I want you to do is let's add a score button. So to add a score button, you need to go to Data right here, click on Data, then choose Make a Variable, and let's call that Score. Click OK. And then what we're going to need to do is we need to add score blocks to our script. So if you see right here where it says, if touching paddle, then we're just going to put a block right there that says change score by 1. And that's right here in the data, change score by 1. So let's just drag that right there. And then let's see what happens. See how my score is changing? The only thing is if I start over, my score doesn't change, it just continues. But that's a lesson for another day. So if you finished and you want to play around with your with it a little bit, change the background or whatever you'd like, that's great. But show the teacher first so that your teacher will know that you finished, and you give that a name at the top. Call it Pong game. Okay, and it just saves itself. Now you can move on to the next lesson or ask the teacher what you need to do next.